Ladies and gentlemen, there are seasons in life that test everything we know, everything we believe, and everything we are. These are the moments when the weight of our struggles presses against our shoulders and the road ahead feels like it has no end. It's in these seasons that our faith is stretched, our patience is tried, and our hope wavers. But if there's one thing we must remember, it is this: no storm lasts forever. There's a strange thing about time. It moves no matter how heavy the moment feels. It doesn't ask for permission, it doesn't wait for you to be ready, and it certainly doesn't stay stuck where you are. That means no matter what you're facing today, no matter how endless this season feels, it will change. Because nothing, not joy, not pain, not struggle, not triumph, nothing in life is permanent. It's easy to believe that the weight you carry right now is forever, that the heartbreak, the uncertainty, the fear, whatever it is that's making your chest feel heavy and your spirit feel tired, will never leave you. But have you ever noticed how even the longest night eventually gives way to dawn? How even the most brutal storm eventually calms? That's life. Seasons shift, chapters turn. And just like you have seen good times fade, so will these difficult ones. The mistake we make in our hardest moments is thinking that they define us, that if life is hard right now, then maybe it's always going to be hard, that if we feel lost, then maybe we're never meant to find our way. But what if instead of seeing struggle as a full stop, we saw it as a comma, a pause, a breath, a moment between what was and what will be? Because the truth is, what will be is always coming. You are not standing still, you are not sinking, you are simply in motion, even when it doesn't feel like it. So if this season feels endless, remind yourself seasons always change. The pain you feel today will be a memory one day. The tears you cry now will be the wisdom you share later, and the strength you're building in this moment, that's the power that will carry you into the life you're meant to live. Hold on, keep going, because even if you don't see it yet, the next chapter is already on its way. Time is a strange thing. When life is good, it rushes by like sand slipping through our fingers. But when pain enters the picture, time slows down. The days feel longer, the nights feel heavier, and every moment stretches endlessly, making us believe that this struggle will last forever. That's the trick hardship plays on us. It makes us forget that nothing in life is permanently. It convinces us that we are stuck, that we will never move past this, that the weight we carry today will always be there. But that is not the truth. Think back to a time when you thought you wouldn't make it through, a heartbreak that shattered you, a failure that crushed your spirit, a loss that felt impossible to bear. At that moment, it felt like your world had stopped turning. But did it? No. You woke up the next day, and the day after that, and somehow, without realizing it, you moved forward. The pain that once felt unbearable became a scar, a story, a lesson, and eventually something new took its place: hope, love, opportunity, strength. That's what happens in life. Pain slows everything down, but it does not stop time. Even when you feel like you are standing still, life is moving. Even when your heart is breaking, healing is beginning. Even when you feel lost, the path ahead is unfolding. Seasons don't ask for permission to change, they just do. And this season, no matter how endless it seems, will change too. So don't let hardship fool you into believing that this is your forever. It is not. The version of you who is struggling today will one day look back and see how far you've come, and when you do, you'll realize that time was never your enemy. It was just taking its time to bring you to something greater. Hold on, because no matter how slow it feels, you are already on your way. Life has a way of leading us into moments where the road ahead seems invisible, where everything we planned, everything we expected, suddenly dissolves into uncertainty. It's in these moments that doubt creeps in, whispering that maybe we've lost our way, maybe there is no path forward, maybe we are stuck. But what if being lost is just a part of finding something greater? What if, even when we cannot see the road, it still exists? Think about the most beautiful destinations in the world, the breathtaking mountaintops, the endless oceans, the hidden places that take our breath away. No one stumbles upon them easily. You have to travel winding paths, sometimes through the dark, sometimes through the unknown, before you arrive. And the same is true for life. Just because you can't see where you're going doesn't mean you're not headed somewhere incredible. The hardest part of any journey is trusting what you cannot yet see, believing that something is working in your favor even when everything feels still. But have you ever watched the seasons change? Have you ever noticed how winter never questions whether spring will come? It just does. The trees don't rush to bloom, they simply trust that their time will arrive, and so must we. Not knowing the way does not mean not seeing progress does not mean growth isn't happening. Not having all the answers does not mean there is no plan. Life is still moving even when you cannot feel it. So instead of fearing the unknown, embrace it. Instead of worrying about the future, trust that it is unfolding exactly as it should. Because one day you will look back and realize that even when you thought you were lost, you were always being led. There is a belief we often carry buried deep in our minds that struggle is a punishment, that when life becomes difficult, it must mean we've done something wrong, that we are being tested unfairly, that we are alone in our suffering. But what if struggle is not a punishment at all? What if, instead, it is the very thing shaping us into who we are meant to become? Think about the strongest people you know, the ones who inspire you, who walk with wisdom, who speak with a depth that moves others. Do you think they became that way through ease and comfort? No. Strength is not born from a life without difficulty. It is carved from pain, from failures, from moments of doubt that forced them to keep going even when they wanted to give up. Every hardship they faced was not a setback, it was a lesson. And the same is true for you. Life is not happening to you, it is happening for you. The challenges in front of you are not barriers meant to stop you, but bridges meant to take you to the next version of yourself. When you struggle, you grow. When you fall, you learn how to rise. When you break, you discover the parts of you that are unbreakable. Every difficulty you are facing right now is shaping you, refining you, preparing you for something greater than you can see in this moment. So the next time you ask, why is this happening to me? Try asking instead, what is this teaching me? Because one day you will look back at this season and you will not see punishment, you will see purpose, you will see strength you didn't know you had, and you will realize that the struggle you once feared was actually the making of you. When life feels heavy, the natural instinct is to stop, to freeze in place, to wait for the storm to pass, to stand still until clarity arrives. But life does not pause for us, it keeps moving, with or without our permission. And the truth is, the only way through any season of hardship is forward. Even if the path is unclear, even if the steps are small, even if all you can do is take one breath, then another, movement is what carries you out of the darkness. Think about a river. No matter how many rocks stand in its way, no matter how many obstacles try to block its flow, it does not stop. It finds a way around, over, through. It keeps moving, and because of that, it never stays in the same place forever. The same is true for you. The pain you feel right now is not meant to trap you. It is meant to transform you. And transformation only happens when you keep going. Some days the steps will be big, other days they will be so small they feel invisible, but movement is movement no matter how slow. Healing is happening even if you can't see it. Growth is unfolding even if you don't feel it. You may not have all the answers yet, but answers are found along the way, not at the starting point. And the only way to find them is to keep moving forward. So take the next step, however small it may be. Make the next decision, even if it scares you. Hold on to hope, even if it feels fragile, because as long as you are moving, you are not stuck. As long as you are moving, life is shifting. And one day you will look back and realize that every single step, no matter how uncertain, was leading you exactly where you were meant to be. Strength is not something we are born with. It is something, and the only way it is built is through resistance, through challenge, through moments that push us beyond what we thought we could handle. No one becomes strong by living an easy life. No one discovers their resilience by walking a path with no obstacles. Strength is not given, it is earned. And it is earned in the very moments we wish we could avoid. Think about a seed buried beneath the earth. In the darkness, it seems still, lifeless, unseen. But underground, something powerful is happening. It is breaking open, pushing through resistance, growing in silence. No one sees it struggle, but that struggle is what gives it the strength to rise toward the light. Without the pressure, without the weight of the soil, it would never grow into what it was meant to be. And just like that seed, the struggles you face today are not burying you. They are preparing you. They are strengthening your roots so that when you rise unshakable. The hardest moments in life are the ones that shape us the most. They strip away what no longer serves us. They teach us lessons we could never learn in comfort. They test our spirit, but in that test, they reveal a version of us we never knew existed. And the truth is, you are stronger than you think. You are braver than you feel. You are capable of surviving things you once thought would break you. How do I know? Because you already have. Look at where you are today. Look at all the times you thought you wouldn't make it, but you did. All the moments that felt impossible, but somehow you found a way through. That is strength. And if you have made it through before, you will make it through again. This season is not here to destroy you. It is here to show you just how powerful you truly are. So keep going, keep pushing, because one day you will look back at this moment and realize that every challenge was not breaking you, it was building you into the person you were always meant to be. There will come a day when you look back at this season of your life and see it differently. Right now, it may feel overwhelming, unfair, even impossible, but perspective is a gift that only time can give. And when enough time has passed, you will see what you could not see before, that what felt like a breakdown was actually a breakthrough in disguise. Think about a storm. When you're caught in the middle of it, all you feel is the chaos, the rain pounding down, the wind pushing against you, the sky dark and unrelenting. But once the storm passes and you look back, you see what it left behind. The air is fresher, the sky is clearer, and sometimes the very things that needed to be washed away are gone. Life works the same way. In the moment, it feels like everything is falling apart, but in hindsight, you realize things were actually falling into place. There are moments in your past that once felt unbearable, yet you survived them. There were situations you thought you would never recover from, but somehow you did. And now those moments don't carry the same weight they once did. Why? Because with time you gained wisdom. You saw the lessons hidden in the pain, the strength you didn't know you had, the growth that only came because you were forced to endure something difficult. This season is no different. One day you will look back and realize that every tear, every challenge, every unanswered question was shaping you into the person you were meant to become. You will see that the delay was not denial, that the struggle was not punishment, and that what felt like an ending was actually a new beginning. So hold on. Trust that even though you can't see it now, the day is coming when you will look back and understand why this season was necessary. And when that day arrives, you will be grateful you never gave up. There are moments in life when silence feels deafening, when you cry out for answers but hear nothing in return, when you pray for a sign, a breakthrough, a way forward, and all you are met with is stillness. It is in these moments that doubt creeps in, whispering that maybe you have been forgotten, maybe you are on your own, maybe nothing is working in your favor. But silence does not mean absence. Stillness does not mean nothing is happening. Just because you cannot see the movement does not mean the movement isn't there. Think of the night sky. When you look up, it appears still, as if nothing is changing. But beyond what your eyes can see, planets are shifting, stars are forming, the universe is expanding. There is movement happening at all times, even when it feels invisible. Life is the same way. Just because you do not see the answers yet does not mean they aren't coming. Just because you do not feel change does not mean it isn't happening. There is always something working behind the scenes, rearranging things in your favor, setting things in motion in ways you cannot yet understand. Faith is not about knowing every detail of the plan. It is about trusting that there is a plan, even when all you have in front of you is uncertainty. It is about believing that this season has a purpose, even if you don't yet know what it is. It is about understanding that delays are not denials and unanswered prayers are not unheard prayers. Some things take time to unfold because they are meant to be built in ways that last. So instead of questioning the silence, trust it. Instead of fearing the unknown, embrace it. Just because you don't have all the answers now doesn't mean you never will. And one day, when you least expect it, everything will fall into place and you will realize that through it all, you were never alone. You were always being guided, even when you couldn't see the way. There will always be moments in life when we feel like we're at our breaking point, when the weight of our struggles makes us question if we have the strength to keep going. But the truth is, We were never meant to carry everything alone. There is a greater force at work, something bigger than our fears, bigger than our doubts, something that sees beyond what we can see. And in those moments when we feel lost, when we feel like we can't take another step, we are still being guided, even when we don't realize it. Think about the times in your life when you thought you wouldn't make it through. The times when everything felt like it was falling apart, when you had no idea how things would get better. And yet, somehow they did. Maybe it wasn't in the way you expected. Maybe it took longer than you wanted. Maybe the path was messy, filled with detours and heartbreak. But eventually, the pieces fell into place. And looking back, you realize that even in the moments when you felt abandoned, you were never truly alone. There is something powerful about surrender. Not giving up, but letting go of the need to control every outcome. Trusting that even when you don't have all the answers, even when you don't see the full picture, you are still being led in the right direction. That every delay, every closed door, every painful lesson is shaping you, redirecting you, strengthening you for what's ahead. You don't have to have everything figured out right now. You don't have to pretend to be strong every second of the day. You just have to keep going, keep trusting, keep believing that there is more to your story than this chapter. And when you finally step into the light, when you look back at this season from the other side, you will understand that every struggle, every tear, every unanswered question was not meant to break you. It was meant to build you into exactly who you were meant to be. There comes a time in every journey when we must decide what we believe about ourselves, about our struggles, about the road ahead. We can look at this season of life as a burden, something unfair and relentless, or we can see it as a chapter, one that is shaping us in ways we do not yet understand. Because that is the thing about seasons. They do not last forever. No matter how cold the winter, spring always comes. No matter how dark the night, the sun always rises. And no matter how heavy this moment feels, there will be a day when you look back and realize it did not break you, it transformed you. Pain has a way of making us forget who we are. It convinces us that we are weak, that we are powerless, that we are alone. But you are none of those things. You are strong in ways you haven't even discovered yet. You are resilient in ways you have already proven. And you are never walking through this alone. Even in the silence, even in the waiting, something is shifting in your favor. Even in the moments when you feel lost, you are still being led. This season will pass, and when it does, you will not be the same person you were before. You will be wiser, you will be braver, you will carry a depth and a strength that only comes from surviving what once felt impossible. You may not understand it now, but one day you will look back and see how every challenge, every delay, every unanswered question was part of something greater than you could have imagined. So hold on, keep moving, keep believing, because you are not at the end of your story. You are simply in the middle of it, and when you reach the other side, you will understand that even in the moments when you doubted yourself, even in the moments when you felt like giving up, something greater was carrying you forward. You were never meant to be defeated by this season. You were meant to rise from it stronger than ever before.